Congratulations, you have your first circular sock knitting machine. Yay! Now if you could just get the knitting started by putting on your cast on sack. Oh, you don't have one? Well, the very next best thing is a very affordable $2 shower scrunchie. Alrighty, so we have a scrunchie. You know what a scrunchie is? Let's turn it around over here. Here's a scrunchie. You shower with them. You have a little loop and it's netting. Let me sort of zoom in and see it. So what we're going to do is show you that if you don't have anything else, here's another way to cast on. So you come in and you want to find the ties. There. And so, see what your scrunchie is? It's actually a knitted tube. So, it's pretty long. Be amazed how many different cast on things you can make from one scrunchie. Okay, so pull it out and get yourself, a fair amount of it, about maybe, not quite a yard, 2 feet, 2.5 feet, something like that. And cut it. So now the idea is you want to take this scrunchie and you want to pull it up under your machine. So we'll turn it back over here like this. So now over here you have no needles that are up. Let me move that around over to this side so that you can see that right in here there are no needles up, and the ones here are a little hard to get to because the yarn guide is so close. So as I come around over here, you can kind of see what I mean. And that's something for you to pay attention to. If your yarn guide is, like way out to here, you need to find a way to get it back in close to your needles. This is what gives me, I think, more chance of having really nice knitting with no drop stitches. Having your yarn guide really close to your needles and the right height. Okay, so this is a really easy thing to get caught up. So you have to pull it back out. If you get it caught up, just pull it back out. You have to pull it all the way out and come back in underneath. And if you kind of hold it so that you've got split. What I mean by split, like kind of in half. So then you want just the very edge. And the reason you just want the very edge is because you want it to knit off. You're not looking for it to stay on the needle. You want it to knit off the needle. Okay? And so, And make sure your latches are open. And we will slip our stitch in like that. And just kind of tuck it in down there. And you don't want to pull on it too much. Just put a little tug on it as you go around. Now, see, now over here, we can get these needles. Now, okay. And the last one's like that. And this one over here is because they're not. Coming around. There you go. That's how you use a scrunchie. Put all your needles in. Not every other one. Put all of them in. Okay, so now here at the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and make a knot. Like that. And after I get my knitting down far enough, now that slipped over. There we go. One, two, three, 4, 5. Oh, we have a knitting. There. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Every crank is one complete revolution. The idea of using a spring from a mattress or a chair, where the spring, is kind of bigger, bigger around and then gets smaller and then gets bigger again. It's like this big and then gets smaller and then bigger. Well, you can, if you clip it, you can use that as a way to wrap, but it takes a lot of yarn. It might be a nice exercise in getting to know your machine, but I don't know how efficient it is, and it could also be an exercise in real frustration for new crankers. This is a lot easier to do. I think you could see that it was pretty straightforward. The idea is just to roll the edge of the scrunchie around over so that the needles go through it, come up, get the yarn, and then the scrunchie, knits off the needle, and you just end up going all the way around. And to that end, I will show you. And with a little practice, now it's like the first time I've done that in maybe a year or two, if not longer. Take my weight out, and I will readjust it down here. If you'll look at this, you see how the edge of that, how it just picked it up. Now there's a couple of places where it didn't pick up right away, but it's not hard. Just either lift a needle or just pick up the stitch, either way. So it does work, and it makes it easy, and it might be something you already have. And you can honestly cast on a lot with just one scrunchie. It doesn't have to be that. I chose to make it that long. You make it like an extra double knot that if you like twist on itself like this, so that you can make a loop, then you can hang your weight from it on the bottom. This is just to give you a beginner's idea of how to get your knitting started when you have only this mechanism, or you can find a scrunchie. And with that, you can get your knitting going so that you can make your own cast-on sack. which is something that will last a very, very long time, probably 100 pair of socks at least. And the cast-on sack is what most of us use to get our knitting going after we've been cranking for a while. That being the case, our next demonstration is going to be that, a cast-on sack. So come back.